Hello. Barney, hello. How are you? Sorry, just getting everything set up. Ninja, Amanda, Anastasia, hello. Winterwolf, Newt, Ari. Hope you're all doing well. Envy, hello. Alright, let's get this chat up and running. There we go. T, hello, welcome to your first stream. Normally we just kind of hang out and chat. Every once in a while I'll do special little things. Today I think is going to be a pretty chill stream, though. I think we're going to keep it relaxed today. I was actually trying to find a game that I could play and maybe give you guys something a little more interesting to watch and listen to, but I had one in particular in mind, and I was kind of like, oh yeah, you know what? Let's fly blind into this. It'll be more fun to watch on stream if I have no idea what's gonna happen. And then I looked up a couple of YouTube streams of the game, and it was more risque than I thought it was. So, finished. Oh, I didn't know Kirby's birthday was coming up. I'll have to find out when that is. That's nice that you got something for them, Barney. Oh gosh, tomorrow. Well, I'll have to at least, actually that kind of works better for me. Then I'll actually probably have a better chance of remembering to say happy birthday. If it was like 2 weeks from now, my goldfish brain would absolutely not. Nah, Natasha, you got it. It was Monster Prom. I was like, yeah, the whole concept of that seems like it fits my channel and everything pretty well. I was like, that would be fun to play on stream. Like I said, was not aware that was that it was as risque as it is. I was like, I still want to play that, but maybe just not on a stream. Now I'm going to actually post the link to my stream on Twitter because I have forgotten to do that. Literally every other stream. I've been bad about using Twitter lately. I feel like I can only focus on like one social media at a time. And lately it's been managing my my Discord and stuff. So, but I'm trying to get back in the habit of hopping on Twitter more often as well. My favorite food? This is like super American probably, and just super unhealthy, which I guess is somewhat synonymous, but lately I've been I don't know what it is that got me back into these, but I've been craving Nutter Butters a lot lately. Those like chocolate covered wafers. They're so good. It's also just been warmer here lately, and I keep them in the fridge, so they're nice and cool. I think that's why I've been liking them so much lately. Acid, that sounds so cool. Pink and green mohawk. What should I draw, Leah? I don't know. I have a hard enough time coming up with creative ideas for myself. But so at the very least, I feel you on the struggle. But maybe some other people in chat have suggestions. Anderson, yeah, I bought it when it was on sale because it was on a really cheap sale with the DLC, and I think there's a second one called Monster Camp coming out. But yeah, I'm looking forward to sitting down and playing it more. I played it a little bit earlier, but oh, Barney, thank you for letting me know. Let's see. Oh yeah, ours. I just saw Barney mention that the announcer bot hadn't, that they were slacking, not doing their job again. Let me see if I have it actually turned on, because that's the issue sometimes, is that the YouTube portion of that bot is not turned on. But yep, it's on. So Demolition, you're not late. Glad to see you here. Ah, Veronica, that's fun. I've had purple hair for quite a long time as well, and I dare say it's one of the better colors. Let's see. Was anyone bored enough to learn a new language? I didn't. I actually was learning Japanese before the whole pandemic started, but my motivation kind of tanked, so I sort of had the opposite. But I need to get back to that before I start forgetting everything. What about you, Dustin? If you started learning a new language, what did you start learning? Anastasia, I think ours summed it up pretty succinctly with joking about Salem liking girls, LOL. But I think in general, chubby people, I have no problem with that. I mean, as long as somebody's happy, that's what's important. Ours, I think I'm gonna try out, what was the name of the game? That game I mentioned to you earlier, Never Song, I believe it's what it's called. It was in a, there was a, pack that somebody was doing for supporting, like, Black Lives Matter and stuff on itch.io, I guess, as the website that they had compiled, like, all these like indie games and stuff, and I ended up buying the pack and buying and gifting the pack to my friend as well, and Never Song was one of the games that came included in it. So I was toying around with it earlier, and it seems pretty fun. I didn't want to get too far, so I wouldn't. So there would still be kind of a freshness to playing it on stream, but it was pretty fun. What was it like getting your piercing? Well, I have quite a few. So, but in general, not bad at all. I think my worst ones was when I got my ears pierced, I got them pierced at a larger gauge than you normally get them pierced at, because I was stretching my ears for a time. I don't anymore. I let them go completely back to normal and everything, but yeah, for anybody that knows piercing sizes, I got them pierced at about I think it was a 6 or an 8 gauge, which like normal like piercing needle size is like 16. So that was not the most fun. But besides that, my regular piercings, none of them really hurt very badly at all. I mean, it's really more of a pinch than anything. My tongue was probably the worst as far as healing process, and actually probably the easiest on the initial pain. My tongue ended up swelling really badly to where I couldn't eat anything like more than like soup for like a week and a half. So that was less than fun. Haley, that's kind of the funny thing about my channel, is I don't necessarily consider myself much of a voice actor. My range isn't very good. I can't do like really many different voices or anything like that. Accents aren't, so in general, all the things that really make a voice actor, I'm not particularly good at. I more enjoy writing the scripts and writing the characters. Not that I don't, of course, enjoy voicing them. I mean, that's the main, the main thing that the channel is kind of built off of. But yeah, my focus, I would say, rather than what I enjoy the most, my focus is more on the scripts and the characters more so than on the voices I'm able to do. I would eventually like to get just a little bit of like voice training, just so my singing isn't so abysmal, and so maybe my range will be a little bit better, but we'll see. That's probably not anything that's going to be happening in the immediate future. Yeah, Newt, which I love your name, by the way. It's very fun to say. Yeah, cleaning piercings is definitely very, very, very important. A lot of people will like clean it for like 3 or 4 days, and then they're like, yeah, it's probably good, but I know plenty of people who have gotten infections that way, and so cleaning it is very important. If you can, try and find somewhere that's if you're in the US, of course, try and find somewhere that's there we go, there the announcer bot went. But try and find somewhere that's approved by the APP, I think it's called, Associated Piercing Professional Group, I think is what it is. They're sort of the it's not like a government standard or anything like that, but they're sort of the group that sets the standard for cleanliness and safety and everything for piercers in the US. Getting my neck tattoos, not so bad until the end, and then they're just kind of going over the same spots and everything over and over, and that's less than pleasant. But tattoos, honestly, I think people, of course, everybody's going to be a little different, and some people are going to have less pain tolerance, but in general, I'm a little bit of a weenie. And I didn't think tattoos were really very bad at all, personally, but Lonely Kitsune, yes, he will definitely be making a return. I love him, and I think it seemed like people really enjoyed him, so he will definitely be coming back. Dustin, Latin is a cool language, and there may be some influence from the Raven cycle on that opinion. I know, Brownie, every time I talk about like my piercings or tattoos or what I have or anything, it really does sound like a mid-2000s scene kid. Yeah, and I've heard cartilage piercings are pretty bad. I've never, well, I don't know if there's, I think there might be cartilage where I have my nose piercing, but I could be wrong on that, but I think there is. That one wasn't too bad, but I think the ears have like harder cartilage, and yeah, that seems painful. I was thinking about getting an industrial piercing, and that's I've heard less than pleasant things. Barney, I am drinking my my Crystal Light, my zinged water. It's like a cherry flavor or something, I think. Let's see. Kirby, hello. Airy, hello. So I think you guys have probably been here for a couple minutes, but as always, I'm always slow on reading chat. Ramble on too much. If you were to get a tattoo in reference to something in your life, would you prefer it to be super specific or recognizable but less personal? I think tattoos, like, I don't really care if other people understand them or like them or anything like that. Like, some of my tattoos are just for the sake that I think they look nice aesthetically. So I think for me, I would prefer something probably more specific. Even though, like I said, I don't really care about meaning, either in reference to me or to others. But I mean, if we're talking aesthetically, like same level and everything, I don't really care if other people recognize it. So yeah, probably something more specific, I suppose. Aka, hello! Mobius, hello! Glad you were able to catch the stream. Annie, yeah, my family is very my family is pretty tattooed themselves, so I'm lucky that I don't have any of that kind of stigma to deal with from family. Yeah. they've got plenty of tattoos themselves, so Ashley, I do plan on getting more tattoos and piercings in the future. Not sure what yet, but something. Kirby, also, I found out it was your birthday tomorrow/today because time zones are confusing. But happy birthday. I hope you have a good day. Hope you get some good presents. Aka, cartilage piercings terrify me, but I think that's the best part. Oh, Ari, I don't think you want me designing a tattoo. Will Finn be back this week? Probably not this week, but eventually. Finn will. I think Finn. I'm like legally obligated to bring Finn back. I think. Him and Ilya, I think both have to come back, of course. Ours, are you entertaining yourself? what's my favorite tattoo? I like all, like, of mine, like, I like all my tattoos. I don't really have a favorite, personally. I know that's a cop-out answer, but... Roxy, I know so many people seem to have that issue. They get, like, one piercing, then they're like, now I want more. And that seems to happen with tattoos, too. I never actually got that with tattoos. I sort of had, I got like one, and then I got another like a couple years later, and then I got another like a year later. But like I know some people who, and then I haven't gotten any for a good few years now. But I know some people who are like, they get like one, and they're like, I need more now. Barney, I'm glad you enjoyed the last video. Yeah, I mean the M for M stuff has been kind of particularly because of Pride Month. But I mean that's not to say there won't be more or anything during like not Pride Month or anything, of course. So I've just been seeing a couple other content creators who had made some M for M stuff, and I was like, you know, I want to do that too. And people have been really, really nice about it, like in the comments, because I know, like, of course, it's never great when like there's a content creator that makes content that feels like it sort of excludes you in a way, like if it's like M for M or M for F or whatever. But even people that don't use like he/him pronouns that it hasn't been like directed at in the videos have been really supportive and really happy to see that more queer content is being made. So it's been really cool seeing that. Ours. Well, yeah, when you talk about getting matching tattoos. Drog. Yeah, I have the same issue with my own characters, to be honest. I can't even remember my own characters' names, so... I agree, though, Akka. Normalize getting matching stuff. A friend of mine and I were planning on getting matching tattoos as well. So I know the feeling of that assumption, though, ours. Tavros. Incubus? Yeah, Incubus boy's name is, it's hard pluralizing Incubus. His name is, it should be in the video description, I believe. But if not, it's, I have to type it out while I spell it. Charlemagne. Yes. Charlemagne. I know, Kirby. I want a Raven Cycle tattooed so bad, actually. Like, I was... They're talking about, like, when like, tattoo shops and stuff open back up in California. I'm like, I gotta do it. Now or never. I don't know what I want, though. There's so many good quotes and good symbols and stuff from the Raven Cycle. Charlemagne will probably come back. Probably, maybe not too soon, but eventually. But yeah, people seem to like him. Anytime I try to take notice of when people like characters, and bring back the characters people want to see. But of course, I try and balance out what I want to create with the stuff that I feel like my viewers will want to see. So. But yeah, he'll probably be coming back. I both enjoyed him and people seem to like him, so. Thank you for coming, Sophie. I appreciate it. Merboy will also very likely be coming back. He's a cute little character. I like him. Ah, Jakim, well, I'm glad I could help. And thank you for popping into the stream. I am Veronica. I'm a millennial. I'm not I'm trying to figure out if you're asserting that I'm too young or too old to be a millennial. But no, I'm pretty firmly in the millennial category. In my opinion anyway. Like anytime I've seen like you know, the kind of cutoff year will sometimes include like some of my, like one of my siblings, sometimes it won't, but I've never seen a millennial like time range of years that didn't include the year I was born. Yeah, I like I want to know what Ronan's back tattoo actually looks like. I would that's like definitely something I want to see, like if they ever end up producing the show of it. Gen Z in chat rise up. I'm not too young. I'm pretty firmly in the millennial category. There's definitely a Gen Z disconnect from me. I don't I support Gen Z. I'm happy they're getting along. I'm happy they're trucking. But there are some things that I just do not understand about Gen Z. And that's fine. I don't have to understand. All I'm saying is just that I don't understand. Do I have a lot of siblings? I have 2. So kind of I like more than like the standard like 2 kids in a family kind of thing, but I don't have like an overwhelming amount or anything. My extended family is pretty dang big though. Like my one of my parents has like 7 siblings, and then they all have kids, and they're all older. They're all of that parents' siblings are all like 20 years older. So like there's like a whole generation of like second cousins that I now have. So it's a lot. There's a lot of people. Gen Z is chaotic, and I'm glad to be a part of it, Moonlit. Yeah, Gen Z is chaotic. My youngest sister is very firmly in the Gen Z generation, and it's a trip. Good morning, Starfish. Veronica, I'm pretty firmly in the millennial in the millennial category. I definitely would not consider myself part of Gen Z. My younger sister, that's the oldest, is kind of on that cusp. She is like millennial and Gen Z. she's straddling that line, but I'm pretty firmly in the millennial category. And I will I'll die on that hill because I definitely, like I said, there's some Gen Z stuff rather that I just don't understand sometimes. I'm mentally enough of a boomer that it balances out. uh Oh my gosh, you guys in the chat. Anastasia, I do not drink, no. Tavros, well, I'm glad you got the same kind of vibes as what I was channeling for it. Yeah, I don't even know exactly like why the defrosted inspiration like came, because I hadn't been listening to a video or anything of his when I was scripting. But yeah, I don't know. I really like defrosted content because it feels very relaxing and homey and very nice. And that was kind of the vibe I wanted to go for. So definitely took some defrosted inspiration there. Ah, Canada, hello. Thank you for popping in. Barney, honestly, I'm not sure whether understanding Gen Z and millennial humor is better or worse, because I do not understand Gen Z humor in the least, and I feel like I'm just like I'm like that old guy like on the side like watching, and I'm like, ah, I'm glad you youngins are having fun. Why are we drinking zodiac signs? I'm so confused. Ours. Your daily threat. Well, thank you for the daily threat. I promise I want to play. When you have the attention span of a gnat. I'm kind of 707 when you mentioned millennial humor being a little corny. I can see that, but I also can't think of anything specifically that like I can't think of how to encapsulate millennial humor. Art, I'm glad you enjoyed the magic shop type videos. Glad they made you happy. Changed my name to Square Audio. Just add that to the list of nicknames that we've got going for me. Blink, I don't have any actual like interests or beliefs in like witchiness in real life or anything. It's I just more enjoy it as a storytelling kind of thing, as a fantastical aspect. Millennial humor is both dad jokes and weird humor. Yeah, you know, I could go with that. And I think that's pretty accurate for my sense of humor too. Yeah, and that's the thing about Gen Z humor. It's very, what's the word? Um, like, I don't want to say meaningless, but like, um, meaningless, but like in a good way, if that makes sense. Like, yeah, Gen Z, it's chaotic is a word for Gen Z humor. And again, I'm very glad that Gen Z is having fun with it, having a good time. But I can't do it. One of my millennial friends has adapted and is now like on TikTok and stuff all the time. And I think she's really trying to get me to adapt to the humor too, but I just can't do it. Every time like somebody sends me a TikTok, I watch it and I'm like, what's happening here? I feel like I'm in like an alternate universe. I forget how I described TikTok one time, but there was something that I had said that TikTok felt like Vine, or no, what did I say? It was something about like TikTok feels like if you took the real world but moved everything 2 inches to the left and it all just felt a little off. Like, I don't know, something about all like the lip syncing and everything. It just gives it this very like uncanny valley kind of feel rather, where it just feels like real life, but in a way that it was never meant to be. Whereas Vine was just sort of more humorous chaos. Yeah, airy bootleg Vine. uh. Barney, yeah, it is also too Gen Z for me. Yeah, Starfish, the older I get, the more I feel like no adults actually feel like adults. Yeah, and it just seems like such a time sink too. Like everybody I know that has gotten into TikTok has like it's like that's their thing, and I'm just like I can't. I don't need another thing to sink time into. Anastasia, yeah, I'll probably do more ramble type videos eventually. My problem with rambles and kind of off the cuff stuff is, and it's actually something I really struggle with on streams too, is I say a lot, and I tend to kind of stumble over my words and stuff. So long form rambles that aren't scripted can be a little more difficult for me, a little more editing intensive because I have to go through and take out all these little like uhs and long pauses and stuff. So, but eventually, I do like doing them. Barney, you're coming at me about this Final Fantasy, and I don't appreciate it. Yeah, but it's like I don't know. I used to think I understood like some of the habits and stuff that I had and how things worked for me, but like I can sink a ton of time into Omyoji, but like for some reason I can't get myself to play Final Fantasy for like 5 minutes, and I don't know what the issue is. uh mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Let's see. Old Norse literature is really cool. I would love to learn more about like kind of the actual like Norse mythology and stuff, you know, like you always see stuff like about it like nowadays, but I feel like I don't actually know that much about like how it was like originally, but it seems really interesting. It seems calmer, I suppose. Maybe not calmer. Maybe that's not the right word, but I don't know. It seems less intense than Greek mythology does at times. Greek mythology is very all over the place. There's always a lot of things going on. Yeah, maybe tragic is the word I was looking for. I always love seeing the some of the disconnects between the conversations going on in chat. Like on one hand you have people talking about like Greek mythology, and then like I see like somebody saying like Bratz is better than Barbies, and it's just really funny. Oh, Lazy, I'm glad you enjoyed that video. Yeah, Greek gods are they're not the nicest. Which is really why I want to work on that Somnus and Nox video. I'm sure everybody's gonna like, I'm gonna keep talking about it and everybody's gonna be like, when are you going to actually make it? And I promise I am eventually going to actually make a video of Somnus and Nox gossiping about the other gods, but we'll see. We'll see when I can muster up the editing chops to do that. I'm trying to get acquainted with a new audio editing program right now, so I think once I fully understand what I'm doing with it, then maybe it seems like it'll be easier. So hey Ars, I'm down for it. That's you can run it by Hollow and get the seal of approval. I'm game. Oh, I didn't know that you had. Yeah, I'm game for it. I was previously using Audacity for my audio, but I've been trying to move towards one called Reaper. I like it because it's what's called a non-destructive editing program. So like if you delete something or you like add noise cancellation or something like that, it doesn't actually change the audio. It applies it as like an effect. And so you can remove it or tweak it or whatever later. Whereas with like an Audacity, once you commit a change to your audio, that's pretty much it. Like you can undo it, but not by you. Like if you decide something that you maybe applied like 3 hours ago and then you've done all this editing since, you know, the only way to undo it is to Control Z and undo everything up until that point, if it'll even let you go back that far. Whereas in a non-destructive program like Reaper, you can actually just go and single out that one effect and be like, I don't like that anymore. You can remove it or tweak it or whatever. Oh, did I say that, ours? Okay, to be fair, you know how my memory is. All right, well then I'll have to actually get on messaging him about that then. Mobius, if you want to send fan art, I would love to see it, but you can either you can email it to me, but the best ways of getting through to me are probably Twitter or posting it in the fan art section of my Discord if you're on there. Jay Evans, yeah, I'm with you. American confusion. I know ours when so for context for everybody else, my character Sterling is sort of the most common type of monster that I can relate him to is he's like a harpy. He's a bird boy, and he's a little nutso, but he works as like an excavator right now, digging up ancient artifacts and stuff like that. And his boss is so nice. He's such a good dude, and he gave him head pats during one of our sessions during the campaign, and it was so cute. And then we had another bird boy that got all pouty because he was like, I want head pats. It was very funny. It was very cute. Mm-hmm. I love that our two bird boys with bird brains are just they're just not quite on the same wavelength of bird brain. I just saw somebody saying bye to Woony, Rain, and Hollow. So goodbye to anybody who may still be here. Woony, Rain, and Hollow. Do I get nervous during live streams? Not really. I think maybe the first few times. I think I tend to get more, I wouldn't call it nervous, but during voice chats, on my Discord, they just take more social energy, I suppose. Again, I wouldn't say nervous is the right word, but my social battery gets exhausted a little faster, but it's a good thing though. I like going in and getting to talk to everybody. No, Barney, I said happy birthday to Curbs earlier. But also happy birthday again, Curbs. Oh my gosh, yeah, the Catherine and Monsieur getting into their little tiff was very funny. Glad you could make it, Blue Jay. Thank you for coming, and I'm glad you enjoy my my videos. I'm feeling pretty good today. I'm relaxed, just been snacking, and I woke up and then I was up for a little while, and then I just had to nap. For more. I've been trying to take sleeping pills to even out my sleep schedule, and I took a whole one the other night, and it basically put me into a coma. and I took half of one last night, and wasn't as bad. Still woke up very groggy, but was not so bad. What music is this? It's one of the free tracks from YouTube. I can't remember what it's called. Let me see if I have the name. See if this is it. Nope, that's not it. Yeah, I can't find the name of it. It's one of the free like audios that YouTube provides that's like copyright free and all that. You can use however you want. Airy Brew just drinking and brooding his way through the camp. You know, I think with the group of people that he's with, I think that's kind of what I think that's what most people just really have to do. Brew is a nice sense of calm and centering to the group. No, it wasn't melatonin. I can't take melatonin because it really doesn't work for me in the first place. But it also gives me really strange nightmares. And I've tried, I've tried pretty much everything over the counter available. The diphenhydramine and the Z-Quil is what that was what I used to use a lot, but now, what's the name of what I've been taking? The diphenhydramine kind of is spotty. It works sometimes and it doesn't others. Doxylamine, that's what I've been using lately. Doxylamine succinate. Let me see what the actual name. Unisom. That's the one in Unisom that I've been taking, and it works. It tends to knock me out pretty well. It keeps me asleep for a long time. The most laborious part of recording and editing is probably like I try and like re-listen to my audios like over and over to make sure I've gotten like everything correct. So like by the time I've uploaded my video, I've probably like listened to it like at least partially like 6 or 7 times. Just going back through and editing and taking out little sounds and making sure the spacing between phrases and stuff sounds okay and all that. So yeah, probably the editing process of just cleaning up the audio is the most laborious for me. Your only focus has become, or Monsieur's only focus has become Borden now. I'm curious how that's gonna work with leaving the planet. Yeah, Barney, I feel that. Like, I definitely recommend to anybody who doesn't like need sleeping pills, like, don't. Trust me, guys. Like, they're not worth it if you don't need them. Like, I don't want to sound like I'm like encouraging like the use of them or anything, but it's just like I literally cannot get to sleep until like 8 in the morning if I don't take something to like knock me out. So it was getting really bad. Borden's joining the group. We're making Hollow DM a whole member of the party for the rest of the game. Harry, I like your description of Brew. A 7'2" meat metal boy. Nah, Anastasia, I'm not a big gum chewer. I'm not... Don't know. I just, not big into gum. Yeah, Barney, I feel like that's sort of the catch-22 with sleeping pills. It's sort of like when you start taking them, like you start taking them because you can't sleep, but then you start not being able to sleep without them, so it's just sort of like it compounds the issue and makes it worse. But it's just like, of course, like when it with me, the reason I do it is because like when my sleep schedule starts getting off, like I will like physically start feeling sick just all the time, because I'll have like, it's almost like you just don't have any sense of time. It's really strange. Yeah, not great. So for me, the sleeping pills, the benefits outweighed the cons in my case, but favorite OC I've created. It's funny, one of my favorite OCs that I have with a friend of mine, when we started out, I hated this OC for years, and I just could not figure out how to get him to a point where I actually liked him as a character. And he was like the main character in like our universe. So as far as for favorites though, I don't know. It kind of changes by the day. Let me take a look at my page and see any favorites that I've got. Kitsune, my fox god, stands out as a favorite. Yeah, I like my fox god. Who else do I like? Somnus and Nox. I don't know, something about them. They're always fun. Ours, I'm glad you enjoy Finn. Bye Starfish, thank you for coming. Yeah, NB, that's really true. Like, I can't even necessarily say I have an overall favorite OC, because I do like them all for different reasons. They're all different things that I think were fun to put into a character, so. Barney, I feel like you're trying to trigger my skincare, my cosmetology side with that comment. Difference between chemical exfoliators and just going ham with some sandpaper. Well, sandpaper would be a physical exfoliator, and I always recommend chemical exfoliators over physical exfoliators. They're more effective and they're less abrasive, so not going to go into a what was it, like a half-hour long cosmetology lesson like last time. To be fair, NB, though, with my characters, like, the problem I think the reason I have such a problem remembering my YouTube, like, ASMR characters is because I have, like, 150, like, OCs that are outside of my, ASMR universe, so I got a lot of babs. I do know Diabolic Lovers. I think that was directed at me. But yes, I do know about Diabolic Lovers. I haven't played or watched it because it's not quite my speed, but good night, Veronica. Hope you sleep well. Ellis, hello. Annie, every day I sit at the window and wonder when Thistle will return from the war. I I wrote his script in a way that would allow for a pretty easy return for him. So yes, Newt. I actually used some products from The Ordinary. Okay, recommendations for daily skincare routine. Let's try and bust this out fast so I don't go on too long of a rant. I kid you not, I could talk about this all day long. I begged one of my friends to let me make them a skincare routine one time. So I try and keep it as simple as possible, just because I find that the more simple a routine is, the more people will stick to it in the long term. So for morning, I actually don't like to recommend washing your face in the morning, just because you can actually end up drying your face out by washing it more than you need to. So I always say, like, go as long as you can just washing at night. See if that clears up any acne, any excessive oiliness or anything like that. If you have to, of course, then wash once in the morning, once at night. But for mornings, I usually just recommend like some kind of a non-alcohol based toner, just to kind of wipe the face down a little bit, and then maybe like a serum and sunscreen. Sunscreen is absolutely the most important thing for the morning, and that's like something that people really should be wearing every day, and generally do not. And then at night is when I usually will recommend like kind of the heavier stuff, like let's see, I would probably do face wash, a chemical exfoliator, let's see, yeah, probably face wash, chemical exfoliator, some kind of serum or product, again, if you wanted to add a second one in, something like a vitamin C serum or something. And then retinol is like the hugest thing I recommend to everybody. Like, if you can get some kind of a retinol based product, huge difference. Like retinol and tretinoin is probably like one of like the biggest like game changing skincare ingredients, but it's something that's really important to use sunscreen with, because if you're using retinol and you're not using sunscreen, it would actually just be better to not use the retinol at all. But yeah, that and some moisturizer, and that's probably that would probably be nighttime skincare. Yeah. Incubus teaches you skincare ASMR. I've actually been really tempted to do like a skincare or like a hair care like ASMR or something, just so I can actually try and slip some of my enjoyment of cosmetology into it. Achilles and Patroclus. That was so sad. What was the book about them? This is totally like a 360. Oh, hi, Hollow. I don't know if you're still here, but I just saw your name pop up in chat. Good to see you. But what was that book with Achilles and Patroclus? The Song of Achilles. Oh, that was such a sad book. It was so good, though. It was a very like heart-wrenching book. Hollow. Just never go outside, then you never need sunscreen. Yeah, I feel like that's my strategy. I've got like blackout curtains in my windows and everything, so yeah, I no sun this far north, no need for sunscreen. There's actually the way you can check how, I guess, prominent the need for sunscreen in your area is, you can actually look up UV ratings for the day. Like, I live in California, so the UV index here is usually pretty high because we get a fair amount of sun. Yeah, so like today, what is it? This isn't the site I normally use. Yeah, today, like, the UV index is like here. For midday is like a 10, which is very high. And that's where they start recommending like not going out between like 10 and 4, or if you have to, like, wear a hat and sunscreen. But like even at like the lowest, like moderate UV indexes and stuff, like they recommend wearing like at least SPF 30. So your skin is it's a lot more sensitive to UV than I think a lot of people think. Oh my god, I just saw like 5 people in a row just being like, the Song of Achilles just typed in different ways. Yeah, it's terrible. No, it's not terrible. Okay. It's great, but it's also terrible. Okay, Hollow. Ours has been wanting me to, he wanted me to ask about the Greek gods, about something. You didn't even tell me exactly what you wanted me to ask, Ours. Something about a collab with some Greek gods that I hear we've both got going on. Ours, that's how I channel Sterling during D&D so well, because I'm actually just channeling him all the time. I just unleashed it during D&D. Anastasia asked if I cry easily, and I do not. I do not generally cry very often. Skincare with Luca. Yeah, probably some kind of skincare video eventually. I really like skincare and everything. Well, I guess that's probably fairly obvious considering now that I literally cannot have a YouTube live stream without going into like cosmetology 101. Mm-hmm. Well, Awkward Via, I'm glad you're enjoying it. Ours, I noticed I wasn't seeing Hollow's name popping back up after I asked the question. It's because I'm so behind in chat all the time, to be honest. If I was like actually like able to stay up with the chat, then that probably wouldn't be an issue. Blue Jay, bye. Thank you for coming. Joey, yes, I will be doing. I usually do a stream like this like once a week. Sometimes I skip weeks just because I need to recharge a little and stuff. I was thinking about maybe moving them to like every other week or something, but for now I think, well, I know some places are letting up on the shelter in place and all that, but not necessarily saying that they should be, but that's a whole different mess. But I think for now, while that's still going on at all, I'm going to keep doing them weekly, just because I think it's a nice way for people to kind of come in and hang out and get some interaction. But I think once real life kind of picks back up again, I think I might go to like every 2 weeks, but I'm just kind of playing it by ear. We'll see what happens. LSD&D is like... that was the issue I had for the longest time, was actually like figuring out a way to to get into a game. Like me and a bunch of friends back in middle school we borrowed some like D&D books from somebody we knew that had them and tried to like sit down and figure it out, and it was just a whole mess. It did not work well. So I think the main hard part is finding a DM who has any experience. Oh, Grace, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Pumpkin stuff. I mean, I wouldn't say I dislike it. I like pumpkin pie. But in general, like squash, I think pumpkins are part of the squash family, right? Yeah, in general, I'm not a big squash fan, though. Kalimba, yeah, Rose, Kalimba music always, it's always got this really kind of sentimental feel to it, I feel like. It's really nice to listen to. My opinion on Big Tony, my opinion is that I have no idea what that is. Ah, Tater, hello! Favorite holiday? Probably Halloween. I enjoy Halloween. Splatoon? Never played it. Favorite song? Let me open my Spotify and see what I've recently been listening to. I actually I started listening to a band that I hadn't listened to in a long time called Billy Talent. They've got some really cool songs. They're not very chill. I usually listen to much more chill music, but let's see. River Below, Rusted from the Rain, Devil in a Midnight Mass. Some of those are songs from Billy Talent I've been listening to a lot lately. I have not been playing Animal Crossing. I have a Switch, but I never got Animal Crossing. I'm not really very good at staying, as some of the people who have been trying to get me to play Final Fantasy lately could probably tell you, I'm not very good at staying dedicated to games. And I feel like I'm like blanking on the name already. Animal Crossing. Gosh, that was a zero brain cell moment. Yeah, Animal Crossing like is one of those games that you have to play fairly often and like keep up on. I don't know. I have a hard time with like any of those kind of like farming sorts of games personally. Yeah, I really just did do a hard reset. Wow, that was like, I totally just zoned out for a second. I'm not really a fan of horror games, but there is one game that I was thinking about playing called Neversong, I believe. I think that was the name. That I think is kind of a I think it's sort of a horror-oriented game, but it looks really fun. So possibly some horror game streaming ish. Aw, Ari, thank you. please draw what I think Big Tony looks like, and you'll get it. Oh gosh. I don't know if I feel like drawing that, like knowing it would it would become a tattoo is terrifying. You're so sweet, Ari. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, though. Blink said, I really enjoy the way you build your world with storytelling and mechanics. Well, thank you, first of all, for enjoying that. It's mostly because I love lore so much. That's like my favorite thing in any kind of like world or verse or anything is just learning the lore of it. So that's kind of just my inspiration, is just like sometimes I'll hear a quote or I'll listen to a song or whatever that'll give me an idea for a certain type of mechanic or whatever. Or honestly, sometimes I'll just like spend like half an hour just like zoning out and thinking about stuff. So do I write prose? Sometimes. I used to more than I do now. I don't so much anymore. But I want to get back into it. I would love to publish a book one day. That would be something that would be really cool. But I would have to actually practice writing prose more often. I think my issue with prose is because I'm so interested in lore and knowing mechanics of the world and stuff is, I tend to get more into the showing rather than the telling, which is not kind of the traditional knowledge says that's not great for writing, but yeah, when everybody's been saying Big Tony, the only thing I can think of is Tony the Tiger. So I'm with you on that, Genesis. I have no clue what Big Tony could be besides Tony the Tiger. I love Maggie Stiefvater so much. Like her, there's something about her writing that makes me feel like I'm just like not. I don't know. I feel like reading like the Raven Cycle really made me feel like the stuff in her writing could exist in like the real world in a way that that magic would actually exist and everything. I don't know. Her writing is just it's very special to me. Ari, you didn't. Oh, thank you so much. I like every time I see you send like a super chat, it's another like hard reset. I really appreciate it. I hope you go have a good meal. I have read Call Down the Hawk, NB. I didn't. I have to admit, I didn't. I don't want to say that I didn't like it, but it was different from what I expected, and I think that was sort of my issue. But going into it, I mean, I still, like, of course, it's Ronin. Of course I'm going to enjoy it, though. It really, like, you could put Ronin in any setting, in anything, and I would enjoy it, but just because it's Ronin. But I am definitely excited to see where the story goes. Kirby, I'm surprised you hadn't. Yeah, I forgot. I hadn't asked you if how you had been doing on Call Down the Hawk. Um, yeah, it's. Yeah, I'm curious to know what you think about it when you. I might have to do a reread sometime to refresh my memory of it. NB, yes, Ronan and Adam make me soft too. I feel you. Turtle Lord, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And Elia, I'm sure, will appreciate the addition to his button collection. Anastasia asks if I like poetry, and I don't love poetry personally. I've had to do a lot of like poetry analysis for like English classes and stuff, and it's every single time it's always my least favorite part of a class. Lazy J, thank you for coming. I appreciate it. But yeah, poetry has just always been a little harder for me to get into than prose has been. I tend to prefer more long form content, which is why I prefer novels. And also, I think, again, it kind of goes back to the lore of, or it goes back to the fact that I enjoy lore and knowing like details about the universe and everything, so. Like, I respect poetry as a form of literary art, and I can enjoy it while I read it, but it's just not my favorite. Adina, yes, I would highly recommend it. It's The Raven Cycle is a very, very good series. And it honestly, it's a pretty easy read too. It's not too like cerebral or anything. Like it's something that's pretty easy to sit down and get through. It's not really dense like I found with some other books where it's like it just feels like you read one page and it feels like it took you like the effort of reading like 5. How long will the stream be? Probably about 20 more minutes ish. Joey asks, Salem, are you happy? Yes, I am. I'm enjoying being here and chatting with everybody. Turtle Lord, thank you so much again. I appreciate it. The Dresden Files. I've heard of them, but I haven't read them. Let me... Oh gosh, speaking of books, that new Artemis Fowl movie that came out, I can't watch it. I remember even seeing the trailer for it that came out, and I was like, I can't do it. I'm not strong enough. I was so sad because, like, I mean, Artemis Fowl was like, he was like, in the books, he's a little sociopath, to be honest. And they made like his little like dark sociopath like world into, I mean, he's as much of a sociopath as you can have in a kid's book, of course, but they basically just made Artemis Fowl into like Spy Kids 2, and I couldn't do it. Barney, I'm really curious about how you're gonna feel about the Dream Thieves. A lot of people I talk to, that's like their favorite one in the series. I would be hard pressed to pick a favorite out of the series, but um, yeah, I do know a lot of people really seem to have a special place for the Dream Thieves. Grace, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Oh yeah, Barney, absolutely. I'm not. I don't disagree that Spy Kids 2, or it's the Spy Kids series in general, is fantastic. It's amazing, but just not necessarily what I wanted out of Artemis Fowl. Oh my gosh, Blue Jay, you didn't have to do that. Thank you so much. Wow. Yeah, I don't even know what to say to that. Thank you so much. It has to like take a second to like recover, but I appreciate that. Okay. Gosh. Yeah, Draco. I could see Spy Kids maybe would not have aged particularly well, but um, for somebody watching it at the time, it was as a kid, it was fantastic. um, Faith, I also never finished the Artemis Fowl series, but I would like to go back to it. I want to go. I think I read through like the fourth one. There was one about like a demon or something, and I think I read like halfway through that and then never finished the actual series, but I want to go back through and reread one day. Anastasia, thank you. I'm doing pretty well right now. I'm lucky enough that I wasn't hit very hard by like any of the recent goings on in the world or anything. So let's see. Skosh asked if I have any tips or tricks for voice acting or ASMR. I would say probably the most important thing is to a lot of people really focus on getting a really good mic, and that's important, yeah, but I think the most important thing is really finding a quiet place to record. It would be better to have a mediocre mic and a really good place to record rather than the opposite. If you have like a loud environment, that's going to hurt you a lot more than a mediocre microphone. So normally kind of the two usual recommendations for ASMR are to start out are a Blue Yeti or the Blue Snowball. I usually try and recommend springing for the Yeti. Everybody I've talked to that's gotten a Snowball has been like, yeah, I wish I would have just saved a little more and gotten the Yeti. But yeah, Blue Yeti, just getting someplace as quiet as you can. And I mean, literally for like my recording setup, I literally just like have like a comforter that I hang up behind me to try and reduce some of the sound, like vibrations from around the room. And then I actually will like record into I haven't been doing this for very long, but I have been doing it recently. I'll actually record like with my microphone facing into a closet. Because that way all the cloth and fabric and everything kind of catches and diffuses the sound waves. So it's not, you don't get as much like echo or anything in your mic. So like I said, just looking up a little bit about how to like easy ways to kind of sound treat your room and everything is really really helpful. The thumb dudes and Spy Kids were everyone's first crush. Genesis, my favorite genre is definitely fantasy. I don't I tend to prefer more urban fantasy than like high fantasy. Um, let's see. 707, yeah, that's sort of the hard part about ASMR is just listening to yourself all the time over and over. Blue Jay, thank you again so much. I just, again, I really don't even know, like, how to articulate, like, how much I appreciate, like, your support like that. That does mean a lot to me, and I want you to know I appreciate it. Yes, urban fantasy very much slaps. I really enjoy seeing, how monsters and magic and everything interacts with just like modern times. Well, Joey, I'm glad I could help you enjoy your day a little bit more. Yeah, I've heard Good Omens is a very good book as well as the actual show. I watched the show, but I haven't gotten around to reading the book yet. Bye Mobius, thank you for coming and hanging out. It was fun having you here. The hardest character to write. Let's see. Actually, the werewolf, I had a really hard time writing him, and I think it was just because I had very high expectations. I really wanted his video to turn out like really good, which kind of sucked because I ended up having that fire alarm in the background for that video, which was not ideal. But as far as like writing a script, I actually ended up having to ad-lib my werewolf because I just could not come up with the script for him to save my life. Besides him, let's see. Any of my audios that tend to skew more on the romantic side are generally harder for me to write. Just because it's not something that comes very naturally to me. So I have to think a little harder about those, but yeah, that would probably be it. In general, though, scripts aren't usually too difficult for me, just because it's sort of like coming up with the initial idea is the hard part. But once I have the idea, then it's sort of like this like roll of inspiration that I can just like pretty much type it out as fast as I can. Just make the alarm part of the lore. Yeah, I had some people that were joking around about something about that with that character. I forget exactly what the joke was. It was that he was like too much of a himbo to know how to change the fire alarm battery or something like that, which is real life accurate for me, but Barney, I don't think I could. I don't think I have the mass to be considered a himbo. There we go. Ours is a nickname for me, a twimbo. I more just meant the dumb part of of the character rather than the entirety of the himbo essence. Barney, I will absolutely sub to your channel. Please, please link me. Drop a link in the chat. There's some stuff like that that's just so funny to say because it's so like quintessential YouTuber that like everybody says it. I don't know, just stuff like how everybody leads in with like the don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's just funny because it's like not, I feel like it's not something you hear about like in like the ASMR side of YouTube. Like you don't hear that many people before their like ASMR videos, like at least for character role plays, going like, yeah, before we get started, don't forget to drop a like. It's just I think it just feels sort of awkward and out of place before like a roleplay type video. Oh, what am I gonna do when I'm done here? Probably go snack. I try not to eat as much as I can on stream just because, you know, the microphone is so sensitive, and I try not to do too much eating ASMR on stream. But yeah, I usually go grab a snack after I get off stream. That's my first thing. I actually forgot. Oh my gosh, Aka, yeah. Hey, before we get into this ASMR, this video was sponsored by whoever. Like, I don't know, Honey is one I've been seeing a lot. Raid Shadow Legends. I think I've seen that once or twice. It's like a mobile game or something, right? Yes, ours. I will message Hollow. Squarespace, yeah. You know whose ads I really like though? Somebody posted him in my Discord, actually, in the promos channel. Let me see what his name was. He's a piano player that does like little skits on YouTube, but his videos are really funny. And where was it? What was his name? Oh, I can't find it offhand. But he does really funny, like cuts to ads. Like he does them as actual like skits rather than just being like a quick promo. Daniel Thrasher. Daniel Thrasher's videos are really funny. And they're fast, so they're good at holding my very short attention span. As far as audio setup, I actually just recently have been kind of playing around a little more with that. I use a Blue Yeti, but I actually was able to recently get a boom stand for it because I was recording on my desk before, which was like the Blue Yeti stand would really just transmit every single little tap and bump and everything. Like just directly into the mic, so you get a lot of little like thumps and thuds and everything. It's not great. So I recently got a boom stand to put my mic on, as well as a shock mount, and so I've been using that to record on, and I just have it like stretched as far away from my computer as I can possibly get it, so I get as little fan sound in the background as possible. And I will record into my, like, facing my closet, with it open just so I get the muffling of all the fabric and the clothing in the closet. And then I have a thick comforter that I hang up behind me, and that's all just to reduce the echo and, like, reverb and everything from the room as much as I can. All right, Barney, I am subscribed to your YouTube now. Thank you for sending that link, Kirby. Let's see. That's okay, Barney. I want to be subscribed. I want to see all of the Mimi things that you come out with. As far as like personal details and stuff, yeah, I tend to keep more private about some of that stuff. So like some stuff like, you know, like the fact that I have tattoos or that I have piercings and stuff is I'm fine saying stuff like that, but it's like kind of getting more into specifics. I tend to like to stray away from that. Let's see. Ari, well, I'm glad you found it calming enough to fall asleep. Do I have any voice actors or YouTubers that I look up to? Well, one person I've been looking for a lot of advice recently that I like trust as far as like on microphones and not giving like biased information and stuff is Booth Junkie. Actually, he's not like any like ASMR creator or anything. He's like an actual voice actor, and he's been how I've been trying to kind of improve my setup and set like goals for things I would like to like upgrade to as far as equipment and stuff down the line. So Booth Junkie is somebody I've been looking to a lot lately to learn more about recording audio. As far as ASMR content, I mean, there's a ton. Pretty much everybody that I listen to, I kind of look to for some sort of inspiration. Let's see. Let me open up my list. I think like Goodnight Moon has, I think, some of the like most high quality like staging and everything. Of course, I don't do like the visual part of the ASMR, but just like how impressively set up her videos are and everything. She's somebody I really look up to. Let's see. Defrosted, like I mentioned, does really very comforting, very comfortable ASMR, and that's like a vibe that I really admire. Hollow, of course, has just fantastic audio quality, and then like his range of voices is insane, and that's something that I'm really terrible on. So that just like amazes me what he's able to do. Liu, I think, has some really very heartfelt. I can't think of the right word, but heartfelt is kind of what's coming to mind. His videos always feel like they have kind of a purpose to them, which is really nice. Like there's sort of a message to them that's not like hitting you over the head, but it's like a peaceful thing. I don't know, just like I said, everybody I listen to, I think there's something that I find that I really enjoy, even out of content creators that are not necessarily in the same niche of ASMR. Like Massage ASMR was actually one of the first ASMR artists that I ever listened to, and his audio quality, I mean, especially for the time that he was getting started doing ASMR, his audio quality was like really top tier, just fantastically produced. So he's somebody I've kind of looked to for like equipment inspiration and stuff, for stuff to look into down the line. Yeah, I mean, I could go on and on. I have a whole list of people I'm subscribed to that I could really just keep rambling on and on about. Do I edit heavily in post? Sometimes. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I try to edit as little as possible. Just because, like, and I just mean that in the sense that, like, I try and get as much of it as I can correct, like, in actual recording, just because the more, the more post-production you have to do, the longer it takes to get a video out, so. Joey, well, thank you for stopping by. Sound editing is not, there's kind of a steep learning curve, but I wouldn't say sound editing is hard. I mean, it's really just listening to what you're doing and the effects you're applying, and listening and seeing if it sounds good or not. And that's kind of the end goal, is just have something that sounds good. So the more I get into it and the more I learn about it, the more I like it. And ours, yes, I will be probably wrapping up in just a minute or so. Saint, yeah, I've almost thought about contacting that the person who originally wrote that script to see if they would consider writing a follow-up, because it was, I really love that script, and that script artist is really talented. Script writer rather. Honestly, the reasoning for my name formatting is just kind of aesthetic. Andres asked if there was a way to get me to say pretty boy on stream, and so I can do that. I think we'll probably finish up here. So pretty boy. Pretty boy. But yeah, so I think we'll finish up here for the night. But it was nice getting to talk with everybody. Thank you all for coming. I'm glad you guys enjoyed that. I want to get back to doing some more live ASMR. Maybe next stream I'll come up with some little like mini scripts or something. We'll come up with something. I really want to do some more interesting stuff on stream. Like I said, maybe playing some games or doing some live ASMR or something like that. So we'll see. There's some fun stuff to come. So yeah, thank you everybody for coming. And as always, Aka, Ari, Ars, Canada, Kirby, thank you so much for helping out in the chat. I appreciate it. Dina, yeah, it's late for you. Go pass out and get some sleep. So thank you again for coming, everybody. It was fun hanging out and getting to chat with all of you. And I will talk to you all later. Bye-bye.